January is where seasons get rescued or ruined, and even with recent good trends, Liverpool can't afford a slow window. One elite centre-back, one winger to back up or cover Salah, and one midfield shield can turn tight games into wins fast. Here are 5 realistic signings that could save this campaign. Coming in at number 5, Wilfried Singo. If Liverpool want a January signing that quietly fixes 3 problems at once, Singo is that guy. Right back cover, right centre-back cover, and a legit rotate without dropping levels option when the schedule turns nasty. Start with why he fits Liverpool's system. Slot's back line gets dragged into big spaces because Liverpool push high and play brave. That means defenders need recovery speed, 1v1 confidence, and a physical edge to win duels when counters explode. Singo checks those boxes. He's 1.9 meters tall, built like a centre-back but moves like a fullback. Now the numbers that show what he brings. In limited league minutes so far, he's logged 7 tackles, 6 interceptions and 23 duels won at 62.2%. In the air, he's won 12 aerial duels at 66.7%, which matters when Liverpool are defending the far post or dealing with direct teams who spam crosses. He's also recorded 17 recoveries and even 2 possessions won in the final third, which fits Liverpool's win it back fast. And then there's the Champions League sample that screams athlete. Across 3 matches and 270 minutes, he's had 22 ball recoveries and posted a top speed of around 34.51 kilometers per hour. That's the kind of pace that turns one bad turnover into no panic, we reset. How does this save Liverpool points? It gives them tactical options. Start him at right back to lock down a dangerous winger, then slide him inside late on to protect a lead, or use him as the right-sided centre-back when you want extra recovery speed behind a high line. Next up, at number 4, Anthony Robinson. This is the instant energy on the left side move, and it's way more valuable than it sounds. Robinson isn't just a left back, he's a 90-minute engine that forces teams to respect the width and the overlap every single time. Liverpool just signed Milos Kerkez in the summer, so why Robinson when you already have Robertson and Kerkez? Because Robertson is 31 and needs managing, while Kerkez is still settling into Liverpool's timing, spacing, and the chaos of defending huge spaces in the Premier League. And Robinson gives you something neither Kerkez nor Robertson guarantees every 3 days in January: repeat sprints that don't die in the 70th minute. And the output is real. In 2024-25, he played 36 league games and posted 10 assists. Basically winger numbers from left back. That is delivery that you can build patterns around, especially in the matches Liverpool drop points in. Low blocks where you need early balls, cutbacks and second phase pressure. Robinson doesn't replace Robertson's leadership or Kerkez's upside. He gives Liverpool 3 legit left-side options for the run-in, and that kind of depth is how title races survive January. At number 3, Ederson from Atalanta. This is the midfielder who stops games from turning into track meets, and Liverpool have needed that at least a few times this season. Ederson is the security guard profile, not just someone who tackles, but someone who senses danger early, closes the lane, and wins the second ball that keeps an opponent's counter alive. Liverpool can dominate possession and still look vulnerable if they lose the ball with their shape stretched. That's where he changes everything. He turns panic moments into reset moments. Stat-wise, his value usually shows up in the ugly columns that decide matches. He's a high-volume dual player. He wins contact, he competes in the air for a midfielder, and he racks up recoveries because he's constantly scanning for loose balls. In Atalanta's system, he's also asked to cover big ground, which is perfect training for Liverpool's style, because Liverpool midfielders don't get to stand still, they have to hunt. On the ball, he keeps it moving. He's not the guy doing 8 trick passes per game. He's the guy who receives under pressure, plays the simple pass that avoids a turnover, then immediately positions himself to stop the counter if the next pass fails. That connect and protect loop is exactly what a top team needs when they're trying to win tight games in January. And here's how he helps Liverpool specifically. It frees the more creative midfielders to play higher and risk more, because there's a real safety net behind them. It also helps the back line because the centre-backs don't get isolated as often. When the midfield shield is strong, Liverpool concede fewer one-pass, one-sprint, one-shot situations. The deal wouldn't be easy. Atalanta don't sell cheap mid-season, but as a pure football fit, Ederson is the type of signing that makes everyone around him look calmer. And calm is how you stack wins when the fixtures pile up. Coming in at number 2, Antoine Semenyo. This is the chaos winger, the guy who turns a flat attack into an emergency for defenders. And in January, that matters more than pretty build-up. The biggest reason Semenyo is even a realistic conversation is the clause situation. With a release clause, January stops being clubs won't sell and becomes do you want him badly enough? And with the price being huge, it instantly becomes polarizing. Some fans call it madness. Others will say it's the exact kind of decisive move you make when you're chasing trophies or trying to protect top 4. Now add the elephant in the room. Salah's future has felt uncertain after that interview, and even if he stays, Liverpool still need insurance for the simple fact that wide attackers get run into the ground across a season. If Salah leaves in the summer, Liverpool can't go into next year relying on vibes and a youth gamble. If he stays, you still need someone who can carry minutes without the whole right side losing threat. Semenyo gives you a now and later solution. Stat-wise, his value is that he produces in multiple ways. He's not just a finisher and not just a creator. He gets shots off, he drives into the box, he wins fouls, and he forces defenders to turn and sprint. That last part is huge. When opponents can hold a high line against you comfortably, Liverpool look predictable. A winger like Semenyo makes teams drop 5 to 10 yards, and that creates space for Liverpool's midfield and Wirtz to play between the lines. He also fits Liverpool's off-ball demands. He's physical, he presses, and he doesn't mind doing the ugly work tracking back. That's why he feels more Liverpool-coded than some stylish wide players who only show up when the ball is at their feet. Tactically, he gives slot options, starting wide to stretch the pitch, or use him as a direct runner when Liverpool need transitions. He's also the type you bring on at 70 minutes when a game's stuck at 0-0, because he can win you a penalty, force a red card, or create that one broken moment that flips the points. If Liverpool are planning for a world where Salah might not be here next season, January is when you start acting like it. Number 1. Mark Guehi. This is the cleanest save-the-season move because it fixes the most expensive problem in football: the cheap goals that you concede when you're tired, stretched, or rotating. And the January logic is actually real. Reuters reported that Liverpool agreed a fee around £35 million late in the summer. Guehi even had a medical, and the move collapsed because Palace wouldn't let him go without getting enough centre-backs in first. Then Reuters reported in October that Guehi has told Palace that he won't renew and will leave in 2026, with his contract running to June 30th, 2026. That's the rare January centre-back who's genuinely gettable setup. Now layer in Liverpool's own urgency. Konate's contract situation has been noisy, with The Guardian reporting talks stalling and fears that he could run his deal down in 2026. Then Giovanni Leone gets hit with the worst timing imaginable: ACL tear on debut, and Slot saying that he'll be out for around a year. That is a depth plan wiped out overnight. And even if Van Dijk is still a top leader, the scrutiny around his form and body language has been loud during rough patches, which is what happens when you're 34 and playing every 3 days. Guehi's numbers back up the stabilizer label. In the league this season, he's recorded 26 tackles, 16 interceptions, 5 blocks, and 40 aerial duels won. On top of that, he's racked up 71 clearances, which is exactly what you want from a defender who lives through long phases without the ball. Liverpool making Guehi the January signing isn't just depth, it's a statement that they're protecting the season against contract drama, injuries, and a late-season defensive wobble. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe to Goal90 and turn on notifications so that you don't miss what's next. Drop a comment with the one position Liverpool must fix in January. Then click the next video on your screen for more transfer heat and football talks. We'll see you there.